Podcast Playground.
Hooray!
This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Deron Harris.
Hey y'all, what's good? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Deron Harris, and this is the Deron Harris Podcast. What's up, everybody? Hopefully everybody had a good holiday. I sure did, man. My wife and I, we spent the entire holiday kind of just tooling around. We went and saw some property. You know, we're trying to buy some land so we can homestead and do our thing. And we just really kind of had a good day. We went and ate out a couple of times and just kind of enjoyed each other's company. So hopefully everybody had a good holiday as well. Today, though, I'm talking about something that was said a couple of days by the vice president that kind of piqued my interest. And I was kind of like, what? I mean, the other day, the vice president told white people that they no longer have to apologize for being white in America. And my question is who the fuck is telling white people they need to apologize for being who the fuck they are? Because it definitely ain't us. You know, it's not black people telling you need to apologize for being white. You know, we might think that you might need to apologize for some of the shit that y'all have done. But, I mean, how you gonna apologize for being some shit that you didn't have no choice over and you can't change? It's stupid. So, you know, I mean, honestly, if it was me, if I was a white person, I think I would stop listening to some of these white people out here. I really would stop listening to some of y'all because y'all clearly don't know what you're talking about. You have these fabricated grievances, you know, that you're making up and you're putting it out there like it's really a thing, and it's really not a fucking thing. So that's what we'll be talking about today, man. White victimhood and like I mean, what the fuck is this dude talking about? But first, before I get into that, I want to check everybody's mental health. I know we just went through a holiday and we are not quite done. We got New Year's coming up here in a couple of this coming week, and I want to make sure that everybody out there is doing all right, man. Hopefully, everybody out there is fighting the good fight, man. Because this time of year, a lot of people they succumb to a lot of, you know, depression. You know, there's a lot of depression in these months. I know for me, these holidays were always kind of a depressive place for me because I worked a lot for the holidays. You know, I was always alone for the holidays, like not just Christmas though, but like all kinds of holidays. I've always been alone, you know, for the holidays. And it's gotten to the point now where I've got a little bit better of a handle on it. You know, I'm not alone anymore, and I can kind of think through some of these things. So I just want to encourage people out there to go out and seek some help if you're feeling some type of way, man. You don't have to fight this by yourself. There are people out there that are willing to help you, and you know, as a matter of fact, they would jump at the chance. So I'm going to take a quick fast break, and when I come back, we are going to jump into today's topic. Be right back.
The Podcast Playground.
Hooray!
Now, back to the Deron Harris Podcast.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the show. So I got a question, man, for white people. I mean, this is I'm not trying to be like rude or like who is telling y'all need to apologize? I mean, I want to know because it ain't us. No, it's not black people. We have never said that. You know, we have never been like, oh, you need to apologize for being white. I'll tell you who said it. It's the vice president. He's telling you that you need to apologize. And in that ain't got shit to do with us. Okay? You know, when has anybody ever demanded that white folks apologize for being white? I mean, I'm really confused, man. So just to be clear with everybody, white people are not victims. Okay? White people are not victims. They up here claiming all kinds of victimhood and all kinds of oppression and all this shit is happening to them. That's really what it is. They're sitting up here trying to make everybody believe that they are under this fucking rock and, you know, that they are so fucking held underwater. And it's just a bunch of fucking bullshit, man. And I'm sorry, man, but I'm tired of sitting here listening to it. I got to call it out. White people are creating, and it's not all white people. Let me not say that. But there's a good chunk of white people that are creating their own oppression. They're creating their own grievances. These are fabricated grievances. You know what I'm saying? You guys are not victims in the United States. You never have. Not in the history of this country. Not in the history since we've been here have you ever been victims because you're white. Have you ever had to apologize to anybody because you're white? Stop it. Not in any structures that we have. Not legally. Not in economics. I mean, not culturally. Not fucking ever. You people have never had to apologize for being white. So fucking stop it. I'm tired of it. People are getting tired of it. White people are starting to get tired of it. They start to get tired of it. Now I got to tell you, man, like I said, if I was a white person in today, I mean, there is a strong possibility that I would stop listening to other white people. I mean, because y'all are just spewing out bullshit. Nobody's holding you back. Nobody is saying that you guys, are nobody's trying to, who has the power to oppress white people? Nobody. Maybe other white people, but you ain't doing that to yourselves. And I tell you what, man, claiming that you guys are oppressed and all that shit, and it doesn't make you brave because you're not oppressed. You know what I mean? Like you speaking out against some great injustice. You're not, there's nothing that's been done to you. The only thing that has happened to you is people are calling out your bullshit is what's happening. That's the only thing that's going on with y'all. Okay? That's the only thing that is happening with you. You motherfucker, it ain't us. Okay? It's nothing. Well, it is us calling your shit out, but it's not just us. It's Latin people, Asian people starting to call your shit out. There's everybody. Even other white people are starting to call out the bullshit. We know that is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real, man, you guys play the biggest victim, and it's not being a victim. Listen, victimhood is not being uncomfortable because somebody checking your ass. It's not criticism. It's not being disagreed with, and it's not being ass shit that you don't like to be asked. That's not being a victim. Oh my God, we have no almond milk for our lattes. Shut the fuck up, man. I mean, oh my God, man. Victimhood requires some shit, okay? Victimhood requires a systemic disadvantage to start with, okay? And you've never had that. You've never had a systemic disadvantage. And the other thing you need is power. And you have all the power, but you've never been systemically disadvantaged. You know what I'm saying? Never. You motherfuckers made the government. You wrote the laws. You control all the land, and you got all the fucking labor. I mean, you control everything. You could tell motherfuckers who can be citizens. You could tell people who could be counted as free and even fucking human. You guys did that, okay? We didn't do that. Nobody else did that. You all put that shit together for you, so that you could thrive and succeed without even having to fucking do shit. Now, there's shit you need to apologize for. There's definitely shit that white people in this country need to atone for that they really just don't care about or care to. And we get that. You know, we understand that you motherfuckers got no desire to atone for the past atrocities that you've committed on other people here in this country. We get that. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's asking you to apologize for being white. Nobody. Not the Latins. Not the Chinese. Not the Indians. And you know how black people feel about you. You know how we feel about you. We don't give a fuck about your apologies. It's because they never come. And they backhanded apologies anyway. Motherfuckers act like we deserve the shit that y'all did to us. That you did everybody a favor by inflicting all these atrocities on people. That's what you act like. Like you're supposed to get a fucking medal for being dirtbags. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. All of that shit. What's wrong is motherfuckers are turning the mirror around on yourselves. They turning the mirror around on you. They're forcing you to look at yourself. Even when you don't want to, they say it in your fucking face. People are tired of fucking cowering and whatever you say, Mr. White, or whatever it is. People tired of that shit. Real tired of it. Real tired of it. And they start to turn around and tell you in your face, shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking mouth. Get your fragile ass out my fucking face. But the problem is oh no, well people are going away from us. They have to stay with us and understand our plight against the evilness of blackness. People starting to realize you're full of shit. You're full of shit. Other white people starting to realize that you're full of shit. And like I said, it's just a certain group of white people. It's a certain group of y'all. It's a certain group of you motherfuckers that play this shit. You lean into it. You take every fucking bite. You take every inch. You stuff it right up in yourself. All this fucking bullshit ass victimhood. You fuck yourselves constantly with it. Hoping that somebody feels your fabricated ass oppression. The fuck out of here, man. I mean, I just don't get it no more. I mean, I do, but I don't. I mean, how you could just sit right on top of this fucking horse and continue to champion this bullshit. I mean, it's crazy to me how you think that like you guys can dominate every major institution. I mean, like everything for centuries, and then retroactively declare yourself oppressed because people have started calling out your bullshit. Now, see, what you motherfuckers is experiencing is something I like to call asshole itch. Your assholes is itching all the way up in your fucking intestines. And you can't get your hand up there. You can't get your finger up there deep enough to scratch that bitch. It's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable that people are starting to challenge you, that people are in your face with it, that people are protesting white supremacy when you think that it should be preserved and coddled and stroked. People in your face are like, fuck you. What you are experiencing is not oppression. That is that is entitlement reacting to the fucking wool being pulled off of it. It's a facade that everyone has grown so sick of. Victimhood is not a mood. And I think people playing the victim today, you know, is like a thing that they do. You know, they're victims today, but tomorrow I don't need to be the victim today. You know, life is good for me right now. Nobody's challenging me. But as soon as somebody challenges you, I'm a victim. There was a video of a commute. Some people were commuting. Now, train full of people. There's a little white girl. Now, what she did is she put her feet up on a seat and was kind of kicking this black dude. And the black dude fucking checked her. And she started leaning into the black dude. But then the rest of the train, because they saw her bullshit, they leaned into her. Oh, bitch, you wasn't. This was not what you was doing. You was doing some completely other shit. This is you being a bitch. And it was white people calling out. And as soon as she saw the other white people calling her out, what did she do? She went right back into that. Oh, well, I was tired and I been working all day. Like, motherfucker, like nobody else has. Like, people are supposed to coddle you because you worked all it. Get the fuck out of here. You just think that you're able to do shit and not be checked for it. And not be checked for it. Okay? It's ridiculous. Victimhood is not discomfort, just so you know. And it is definitely not the irritation that comes from being asked to acknowledge fucking reality. All right, just so you know, and so we are all on the same page and everybody's clear with it, victimhood is the condition of being systemically targeted, restricted, exploited, or punished by law, policy, or power. And you motherfuckers don't fall into that category. You fall into the category of people who enforce it, but you don't fall into the category of people who are affected by it. Okay? And by that definition right there, by that very serious academic and legal and historical definition, white people have never been victims because they are white. Not one time in the fucking history of this country, not once, not twice, and definitely not ever. And that's not an insult, but you'll take it as that. That's not an attack, but you'll take it as that. And that's not a threat, but J.D. Vance wants you to take it like that. He wants you to take it like that. Okay? It's none of those things. It's not an insult, it's not attack, and it is not a threat. What it is a fucking fact, and you need to fucking internalize that. You need to get that shit. White people built the systems. You wrote all the fucking laws. You control the court and the fucking media. You got the banks. Got more land than everybody. You get to say who could be educated in this country. And you own all the fucking weapons. You got more weapons than you fucking need. On every level. A group that designs, that maintains, and benefits from a system that they created now. You designed it, you maintain it, and you benefit. You cannot simultaneously be its victim based on race. White people, let me say this, white people are not under attack in the United States because they are white. You're a fucking moron if you believe that. You're a fucking moron if you believe that. Your whole victimization claim, you motherfuckers being victims, that shit collapses as soon as motherfuckers start checking you. That shit goes away. And you get this feeling. There's this feeling that you get, super uncomfortable, squirmy. What you are experiencing is called the checkening, okay? That is called, let's say it together, y'all, the checkening. That is the uncomfortable feeling that white people get, or really anybody. But as of recent, it fits you motherfuckers to a T. That white people get when people start checking your ass. Feel me? I'm going to take a break. When I come back, we're going to get into this apology bullshit. It's the Deron Harris Podcast. I'll be right back.
The podcast playground.
Now, back to the Deron Harris Podcast.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm back talking about white people apologizing for being white and this bullshit that J.D. Vance said at the Turning Point USA rally, I guess they had. I guess where Nicki Minaj just fucking shit on everybody. What a fucking idiot bitch she is. Fucking idiot. Fucking... You were a fucking idiot, Nick. You hear me? You're a fucking idiot. I know you don't know who I am. I know I ain't nobody to you, but you a fucking idiot. You an idiot. And we see through you. We see all the way through your ass. Now, let's get into this white people don't have to apologize in America for being white anymore. White people don't have to apologize for being white anymore. Like, fucking, shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. Let's look at this. This statement, this shit solves a problem that doesn't exist. Okay, this problem don't exist because no law has ever demanded this. No movement has ever fucking required this, and no institution has ever enforced that. Never. Fucking never. You know, what has happened is history has been named accurately. That is what has happened. And accountability has been discussed mildly, and inequality has been measured objectively. That's what's happening. That's not persecution, y'all. Okay? That's actual documentation. And there's a fucking difference. All right? There's a difference. Trying to reframe accountability as humiliation is not courage, man. It's evasion. You motherfuckers are ducking and dodging and bobbing and weaving and trying to take anything you can from having to take that accountability pill, from having to swallow that pill for the shit y'all do. You doing everything you can, dancing around. You trying to, and see, you look how much money you've spent on this rally so that this person could stand on stage to tell you not that you don't have to apologize for some shit that you never had to apologize in the first place for. You know what I'm saying? So why did he do it? So why did he stand on stage and portray this language? Why did he do it? This language was not accidental. This is not an accidental language. It was not clumsy, and it was completely understood. It was not a misunderstood thing. Everybody got what it was, what he did it for, why he meant it. If you didn't, you shallow. I mean, because I got it immediately. It's a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle. And what they do, they stood right up to it. Whoop, ears turned right into that whistle. They stood right up into it. Why? Because they want to feel like this. They want to feel like something is holding them down so that they can empower themselves. This is a dog whistle, and it was designed to turn dominance into grievance. They want to be victims. That's all it was. That's all it was. It was a dog whistle. It was on purpose. And it's these fucking think tanks out here. It's these bullshit ass think tanks that think up ways to get you to believe bullshit. That's what it is. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. Just take yourselves outside of it for 1 second and think about this. It's a dog whistle. And they stoke these things over and over again. They stoke them over and over again in order to get you to identify with what they want to do, with what they're trying to do. They want you to be a part of this movement. They want to scare you into being part of this movement. It's crazy. And you fall for it. But you fall for it because you want to fall for it. Because you believe it. You believe that that talking too much about racism or people pointing fingers at you because you white people have done bad. You internalize that because you identify with the system. That this is a system that you covet. You know what I'm saying? So anytime anybody attacks this system, it feels like somebody is attacking you personally. But it's not. People are attacking a system that is harming them. You know what I'm saying? This system is harming me. Of course I'm going to speak up against it. Of course I'm going to attack it and the agents of it. Of course I'm going to do that. But if you identify and you love that system, and that's the system that makes you of course you're going to feel attacked. The function is simple. Okay, the reason they did this is simple, because if white people can be cast as victims, then racism becomes imaginary. Follow me? If power can claim injury, responsibility disappears. And if equality feels like punishment, then hierarchy can be defended as fairness. This is not about dignity. This is about protecting the advantage without having to justify it. That's what this is. You follow me? It's about protecting the advantage because they're losing it. The advantage is slipping away. There's so many other people, so many other ethnicities that are thriving, and they are afraid to become irrelevant. They're afraid, but it's stupid because it can't happen. It can't happen. Everyone contributes. There's a contribution from everyone. But the thing about this is, there is a contribution from everyone, but they want to erase the contributions of certain people and gain them as their own. I mean, look at what they did. They really, really fucking tried to make Charlie Kirk Martin Luther King. They fucking tried. They tried as hard. I mean, they was like, yeah, I think we did it. No, you didn't do it. They tried, though. They tried to have this person galvanize their resolve like Martin Luther King did for us. But you know why it was short-lived? You know why it doesn't really take? You know why it doesn't really have that same impact? Because you are not oppressed. You are not oppressed people. You're bigots and racists. That's what you are. And you're angry that people are challenging you and your whiteness, where you stand, where you think that you should maintain your dominance. Now, if you think that you're a victim, okay, if you're a white person sitting here listening to the thing, you're like, fuck this motherfucker, man, I'm persecuted in this. If you really think so, if you think this, okay, I got some questions for you, okay? Now, listen to this. Now, if you believe that you have truly been victims in this country, then answer me this honestly and clearly. What law has ever targeted you for being white? What era were you stripped of your citizenship for being white? What policy confined you to the ghetto for being white? What generation of yours was denied literacy, land, wages, or safety just because you are white? I'll wait for a couple seconds because I don't think you can find. Listen, I'll just go ahead and answer. The answer is a resounding and unequivocal. There has never been any of that shit because it has never happened. Okay? It's never fucking happened. And I'm sorry, but your feelings are not a substitution for actual factual evidence. It's just not. It's just not. And that's all it is. It's your fucking feelings. Get out of your fucking feelings, you fragile ass people. Get out of your feelings. Okay? It's something that has happened. You know, and some people are still dealing with the effects of it today, fighting through it today. But you think that, you know, the fighting through people challenging your ideology or challenging your beliefs is oppression. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. When people like that say that when they insist that they are, you know, being attacked, you know, for being white people. You're attacking me or you're attacking whiteness. You're just attacking us. What they're really saying is that I am uncomfortable being equal in a system where I was once dominant, where I was once unquestioned. That discomfort is not injustice. It is a very much needed adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Very much needed adjustment, because that is how fragile power exposes itself. Okay? So just so I'm clear, this shit does not help white people. Okay? Him standing on stage and telling y'all that y'all don't have to apologize for being white, that don't help y'all at all, man. That doesn't give you any leg up. People don't fucking care. Okay? People don't give a fuck. It's like you guys over there, being oppressed for yourselves, because motherfuckers really don't care. Okay? And and besides that, the rhetoric itself doesn't help you at all. It does not defend you. It really, what it does is it fucking infantizes you. It makes you, it suggests that just the mere acknowledgement of historical facts or any kind of history, any racial history that you're responsible for is too much for you to handle. And I will say, for some of you, it is true. Some of you cannot handle that. You know, I mean, some people, if you start talking about the way things that happen and actual things and things that happened in history and real life accounts of shit, they want you to shut the fuck up. They don't want to listen to it because they're embarrassed and deep down they're hurt by it. That's what I think. I think deep down they're hurt by it, and they're hurt so much that they get annoyed that you talk about it. And I think they're hurt so that it was their people that did it. And I think that's where some of the annoyance comes from that white people have there. And when people talk about race a lot, they get annoyed by it. And I think it's because they're tired of hearing that their people are responsible for such atrocities in this country and that we're still living through them today. And they you know, I mean, I can kind of, you know, they want to just detach from that. They want to detach themselves from that. They want people to stop talking about it because they're embarrassed and they're hurt, and it's just ridicule, and it makes them feel low. I understand. You know, I can, to a degree, understand that. But leaning into it is not how you solve it. How you solve it is doing the uncomfortable work. How you get rid of those feelings is you talk about it. You express your opinions and your feelings. They're welcome. People want to know how you feel too. But you need to acknowledge and understand how other people feel. And until you're able to do that, you're always going to feel this lump in the pit of your stomach. You know what I'm saying? Facts are not deliberate personal insults, okay? You have to internalize that. That's the first step of how we get past this. The truth is not an attack against you. It is not. And you need to get your coddled, sensitive ass up and understand that. And by the way, any ideology that has to convince people of or invent victimhood to survive has already lost. Okay? It's not good. It's going to fail. You might feel powerful now, but it is going to fail. You've lost this argument, and you've lost this argument, and we can remain calm. You've lost calmly, cleanly, and completely. Simple, man. Racism, it doesn't really, you don't need to shout this shit down no more. You really don't. It just needs to be examined honestly and called out at every turn. Just call it out, everybody. Everybody else. Even other white people who are tired of this shit, the spicy whites. If you guys are fucking tired of it, call these motherfuckers out. That's all you got to do. Call them out. And it works better when it comes from you. It works better when it comes from me. They're just, black fatigue. They call black fatigue. But when it comes from you, there's nothing they can do to rebut that, because they're forced to turn around and look in that mirror at another white person who opposes the bullshit they stand for. You know what I'm saying? Cannot survive the scrutiny. It just can't survive it, especially when it is constant, when it is relentless, and when it is put in their fucking mouths and made for them to chew on it. And we all need to strive for that. We all need to say that. We all need to stand up and put it in their fucking mouth and make them chew it and swallow it. And not back down. So I think that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Deron Harris Podcast, y'all. I want to thank you for joining me this week. And I want people to understand, I don't hate white people, man. I really don't hate y'all. I really do not hate you. I love you. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? But there are some things that you need to work through. That you definitely need to work through. Because there's no reason to hate the way that you do. Because you hate specifically on color. It's just because somebody has a different skin color than you. And there's so many stories and fabricated bullshit narratives that have been made up that you lean into and you buy and you do it on purpose. But the days of that shit is numbered. Trust me. So I want to thank everybody for joining me this week. I want to thank my parents for giving me the brain and the mouth to say this shit. I want to thank my wife for sitting here listening to my podcast every single day because I talk this shit every day, and she is my biggest fan, and she champions for me harder than anybody else. I want to thank my producer and best friend Jesse Andel, one of the spiciest white people I've ever met in my fucking life. He is the whitest black content creator I know. And I love you, man. I really do appreciate you, man. I thank Gentry Thomas for the platform, who is also another white person that is finding his spice level. I want to thank you for the platform, man. Thank you for giving it to me and let me talk my shit, man. And last but not least, I want to thank all my fans, man. I want to thank all the people out there listening to my podcast, and I'm blown away by it. And all the black folks and all the white folks, definitely all the white people who listen to my podcast, man. I do appreciate y'all, man. And I appreciate you for listening and sitting through it and internalizing it and doing the hard work, jumping in the fire, man. And I want to say thank you. I really do. I really want to say thank you for that, because you are the one. It's going to take you guys to win this. It's going to take the help of you guys to win this. So I just want to say thank you. And thank you again for tuning in to the Deron Harris Podcast, y'all. I could not have this thing without y'all. So until next week, man, stand up, man. Stand your ass up. Stand your bitch ass up against all things racist. Okay? Stand up against every racist comment. If you see somebody, say something, man. Step in their face, because it does. It goes away. It backs the fuck down. As soon as you start challenging, they start backing down. It doesn't have a leg to stand on. All right? So until next week, y'all, I'll talk to you later. Have a good holiday. Peace.
You've been listening to the Deron Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DeronHarris.com.